Imagine that you want to reform the Matatu sector that has been quite problematic. What do? Well, we walk back to the Michuki era. What did they do? Let's have some of the interventions put up that we saw the Michuki era interventions to streamline what you talk of transport sector. First of all, driver and conductor qualifications. Drivers and conductors were required to have a clean security record and undergo regular medical and professional fitness tests. After that, there was also another requirement where Matatus were required to have a continuous yellow band painted on both sides and the rear, making them more visible. This is to do with security. Thereafter, we had seatbelts. Passengers and drivers were required to wear seatbelts, a crucial safety measure. And we lose a lot of lives simply because we do not have seatbelts. Another issue that was required, Matatus were required to operate on clearly defined routes and carry a specified number of passengers. You wouldn't hop from route to the other because it is important to familiarize yourself with particular routes, but also to control areas of operations. Now, these interventions by Michuki, are they still alive and kicking? That brings us to our discussion this evening in regards to Matatu sector and the Matatu culture. Is it a cult or is it a culture? I'm joined by Dennis Nzioki, popularly known as Muhalized, who is a Matatu blogger. Muha, good to see you. Thank you for making time to talk to us right here at Weekend Prime. Yeah. For starters, first of all, when you talk about Matatu culture, because you blog Matatus, yeah? How would you define the Kenyan Matatu culture? What defines the culture of transportation, especially in Nairobi?
Matatu culture is about the movement of people from one place to another. But for Kenya, I think we have made it to another level where we put art, music into the system. So far so good. We have good art, amazing art. Boys are making a good job for the art. And the music, lightings, everything are all involved in the Matatu currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very artistic. And that is internal music, you know?
Yeah.
You enter Matatu and you sit at the base. I think it's normally put at the back. You are vibrating all the way to Syokimau, and your life is never the same. But that we'll discuss a little bit later on. But you also have a very distinct look of our Matatus. Not the bigger Matatus, the bigger carriers, because the smaller ones, 14-seaters, the majority of them are pretty the normal colors. Talk to me about this artistic approach of painting our Matatus. Where did that come from?
It came from some guys in the streets where they used the graffiti to do the art to express their feelings through Matatu. That's where they began. Then over time they have improved. We have evolved from the normal graffiti now to specific art. Every car has its own theme and style. Yeah.
I've seen footballers like Cristiano painted. Of course, I'm one of the believers that Messi is the God when it comes to football. I've also seen Messi cars. I've seen even painting themed on movies, favorite movies. It's quite interesting. From your documenting, because you follow this particular culture, how is it at the background? Because as we interact with the Matatus on the streets, in terms of job creation, the involvement of people in all this Nganya culture.
That was employed many people at the moment. There's 1,000 people inside because from making the Matatu, the bodies, the KCI, CFG, other bodies, go to the art. The people who are doing the art, doing the music, the wirings, the lights. It involves many people, and people are getting jobs out of that. Yeah, it's a very good culture because it employs the youth. Because many are using their ideas and doing them on the Matatu.
Oh,
yeah.
That's incredible.
Very nice.
But also there is another side to the Matatu sector.
Yeah.
Especially when we are having big events like the derby or you know, between, how do we call it? FC Leopard and Gor Mahia. We see a lot of involvement of Matatus.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not the best of engagement. It gives the Matatu culture some level of rowdiness. That is how it is interpreted, and also lack of safety. Maybe help me understand, first of all, that engagement, because the context where we see people dropping from Matatu, you saw recently on social media, the Matatu was almost standing, yeah? And that seems like fun and people are on top of it. How did we get here?
Okay, for safety of the passengers and the driver also and the conductor, at some level we say is the adrenaline which comes in and you forget who you are doing, what you are doing. Yeah, so we really recommend people to be sober and take caution of people's life in their vehicles. And also for us, the passengers who are on the vehicles also should be very careful, because it's their own lives which are at risk. You can't leave a seat inside, you go and hang outside. As also, as people are said to be very careful with our lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
But psychologically, like when you think about it,
yeah,
it's almost like something that is very acceptable amongst many areas. Like Saturday, watu wanaenda game, ball, tujaze wote, hata watu wa hang huko juu. And it's given Matatu a certain impression of rowdiness from you talking to these drivers and these dondas and even passengers. I mean, can we do better? Is it lack of enforcement? How do we reach that level?
What happens is people come and hire our vehicles and they want to take them to somewhere, maybe for football match or for a road trip or any other event. So what comes about is people they get overwhelmed with the situation and they do many things which are not supposed to be done. Get on the vehicles on top of the Matatus, on the side steps, which are not allowed. But because somebody is maybe under influence of drugs or something, the alcohol, the passengers, get them, they're very rowdy. So what we do, from my side, we have done campaigns of safety in our route, in Bakassi, and we encourage people to sit down, make the door be closed, and have a good time, enjoy what's inside. Don't enjoy the bad side of us, enjoy the good side of our story.
Okay.
Yeah, we have encouraged them to be safe.
Okay.
That's our most important thing.
So when they hire, when a group comes, they like a particular nganya. Like recently we saw notoriety with particular nganyas. I don't think they were going to embark. I think they were the Rongai way.
Yes.
That were affiliated to powerful figures in the country. I mean, when somebody comes to hire, do they come with their own driver? They say, you just give us the vehicle, we'll pay you, we'll fuel, whichever the arrangement, most of the times, because it seems it's almost a contrast, the way these Matatus are driven during the weekend, some of this engagement, vis-a-vis when they're doing their normal routes from Monday to Friday.
Okay, when it comes to the drivers, they're the same drivers on the weekdays. But we find that that time, the driver has to do some things by force. But we always advocate for sober driving, because the driver, let's say for example now, the guys from Rongai who had the issue with the investor. The investor has invested his money for the Matatu. So it's upon us as the employees to work smart, be sober, and work as per the rules of the circle, and be disciplined. That's the most important thing. Definitely. Discipline is the most important thing.
Definitely. Our time is up, Dennis. In briefing, you document, because you're a blogger, Matatu blogger, which is very, very interesting. A lot of people, almost 50K, are following you, and they're watching your stories and how you document these Matatus. From your projection where we are right now, technology is changing, cars are becoming cooler by the day. I don't know, where do you see our Matatu culture going? Will you reach a place where people will be given VARs in the Matatus and they're just watching films as they go to their destination? Where are we heading? Where are you predicting we are heading to, even as we finish?
I think in the future, Matatu will go another level where the rules which are set should be followed, and ideas will becoming new, because there's new everything is going changing every single day.
Okay.
So expect new ideas, expect things which I've never seen in Matatu.
Okay.
For example, a solar system in Matatu coming very soon. It has happened, but now it's an advanced level of energy you're using.
Okay.
Instead of fuel, use solar. Yes.
That's interesting.
That's another level we're going to.
Okay.
I hope we will all be aware and watch out and see what's coming next in the culture.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Asante sana Mohala.
Nashukuru sana.
Asante sana. That was a good discussion.
Yes.
He is Dennis Nzioki, also popularly known as Mohalized, and he is a Matatu blogger, and he says that the culture is changing, but discipline is critical. And I think this is a conversation that we need to have even more with stakeholders and regulators in this particular sector in regards to streamlining our Matatu culture vis-a-vis from it moving from being a cult to a culture. Right now, Weekend Prime takes a short break. Remember, we're having a good time. It's the weekend. We come back with business news. Stay tuned.